Hi, everyone. Welcome to our final demo at today's Insights Tech Showcase. Before I hand it on over to our speaker, I just want to remind you about that Q&A box. If you have any questions, drop them there and we'll get to them at the end. But now I will hand it on over to Maeve from Dig Insights, who will be talking about rapid innovation testing software.
Thanks, Bridget. Hi, everybody. My name's Maeve. I am an account executive on the Upsiide team here at Dig Insights, and I'm thrilled that you're taking some time today to learn more about our innovation testing platform. So before we kind of jump into anything, a little bit of background is always helpful. Dig Insights was founded in 2010. We now have around 250 research experts that are supporting our clients globally from offices in Toronto, Chicago, and London. Dig itself is a tech-enabled market research consultancy. We have both fully staffed consulting teams for quantitative and qualitative research to support our clients in understanding how different innovations will appeal to the drivers of consumer decisions, how to optimize those innovations, how to build out those business cases, as well as our trends and foresights practice, which helps our clients understand the evolving context that drives consumer decisions, helping them anticipate what's going to be next in different categories. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what makes us different? That's the million-dollar question, right? To which I have a fairly simple answer, and it's that there are very few firms that not only bring together this number of disciplines under one roof, but truly excels at each of them. So we integrate insights expertise, strategy, foresight, technology, and analytics to help our clients find success in crowded markets. One of our most differentiated technologies is the Upsiide platform, built by the research experts here at Dig to reinvent how companies test, optimize, and validate all types of innovation. And what's really cool about Upsiide is that it distills all of our expertise in consumer behavior and data modeling into a single agile solution. Before jumping into the platform, it's worth noting we do have a bit of a unique point of view on what it takes to be successful with your innovations. And this is really based on the reality that in every category, the pace of change is accelerating exponentially. And we find that many brands put a lot of emphasis on being consumer-centric, which is important, but I'd argue only if it's driving action and outcomes. So we believe you must move beyond consumer centricity to decision centricity. So for us, there are 4 pillars to decision centricity. Those are that impulses drive behaviors, choices occur in context, attitudes don't necessarily predict behaviors, and data does not necessarily equal decisions. So we mean to focus on understanding consumer decision making to help identify opportunities to, shift our clients or shift consumer decision in their favor and drive those right internal discussions. So what we mean by being decision centric, it's innovation developed with a consistent lens on how to affect behavior. It's also worth noting that our view of innovation is really holistic. So we think of innovation as any change that's shifting consumer decision in your favor. Certainly that includes things like new products, but it's also the packaging of those products, the messaging, the claims, the slogans that you're going to market with. So anything that we're bringing to market with the intent of shifting consumer decisions in your favor. And with that, let's jump right into the platform here. So today we're looking at a study that we used to gather insights about flavored sparkling water trends. Here we're just sitting on our swiping instruction page. The feedback is simplified. We show a bunch of ideas and we ask consumers to swipe right if they're interested in an idea or swipe left if they're not. This type of question can be customized to your study objective. Maybe you're asking about purchase intent, but the task for this exercise is always simple. Swipe right if you like it, swipe left if you dislike it. Jumping in here to the respondent interface after they've gone through their qualifying and screener questions, of course. What I really want to show you here is how intuitive and easy to use the interface is for consumers. So we've specifically designed this to feel more like social media than a survey. And we did this because we recognize the fact that impulses drive decisions. So at a glance, an innovation needs to break through the clutter, grab attention, and convert that attention to consideration. A quick note on STEM here, we've got a photo, a headline, and some supplemental information. It's really important to note you don't need to use all three of these attributes. We often have times where people are testing just text. If you're at the very beginning of an innovation cycle and you've got a few sentences explaining your product, or if you're doing your message testing. We often have times where clients are doing just visuals, like pack tests. So the STEM is really up to you. We support video as well. Now we can go through as many as 50 ideas in this study here, in this first swiping exercise. And you'll see we are on a mobile phone right now. This is optimized for mobile, but this will render just as well on a computer screen, a tablet, what have you. After going through that swiping exercise, we bring back all of the ideas that were swiped right on and we put them in a head-to-head competition. We do this because we know that decisions occur in context. So every decision to choose something is a decision not to choose dozens of other options. We experience this every day when we're standing in the grocery store looking at a shelf. You'll see as I choose the winning product in this case, I'm going to go with the sparkling ice. It's going to remember and bring forward this incumbent winner here. So what we're doing is we're building up a hierarchy of what myself as the respondent thinks are the best ideas. And this really helps to identify innovations with the potential to shift choice in that crowded market. We also recognize that while attitudes don't predict behavior, they can be really helpful when optimizing your offerings. So we like to use attitudes more diagnostically, understanding why people like or dislike innovations and identifying those optimization opportunities. So after the swiping exercise in this case, we wanted to take a deep dive on a select few of the products. We show the product again here. And then we get into kind of our usual KPIs. So in this case, we're looking at purchase intent. How often would you drink this? How often would you use the product? And then we come to one of our more special questions here. And this is our emoji question. So these emojis are inspired by Plutarch's Wheel of Emotions. This question essentially provides a simple, engaging, intuitive way for a respondent to choose how they feel. And the benefit of this is it makes it easier for them to explain why they chose said emoji in an open-ended question, just resulting in better open-ended responses. So a lot of times in these cases, we've got our grid questions, our multi-select, our single select, our open ends, and perhaps we're asking things about clarity or believability, or maybe even brand fit. Jumping from the respondent experience into the dashboard here, we know that having access to data does not mean that decisions get made. And to make data useful, we need to transform it into actionable visualizations that clearly address what our clients' business questions will be. So you might be surprised from how much information we get just from that straightforward swiping exercise. The first thing we're looking at here is just a simple ranking of all of the ideas tested with their idea score. Our idea score is the bold one here. This is a composite metric between interest and commitment. Interest score at 79. Think of this as 79% of the time respondents saw the bubbly. They swiped right, indicating that they liked it. To the right of that score, we've got commitment at 58. This means 58% of the time respondents saw the bubbly in that head-to-head competition. They chose it as the winning idea 58% of the time. So we created this idea score here as a weighted average between the two, and it's been validated to be more predictive of in-market success. So the ranking idea here is just we're getting a quick view of how each of these ideas performed. Then we get into different ways to visualize our ideas here. First up is a bar chart. I find the most helpful thing about the bar chart is it makes it very easy to understand the performance among different consumer groups. So as with all of our data reporting dashboards, we can choose a product to focus in on, and we can filter by all of our screener and qualifier questions. So perhaps we want to focus on gender. We want to see just what the females are saying in this study. Or we also want to skew younger in age. So we can add these filters. It's going to change the data in front of us in real time. And again, this is just really helpful when you're trying to dig down on what may motivate different subgroups. Another way to visualize our data here is a quadrant chart. We couldn't be in market research without a quadrant chart, of course. Here we're mapping the ideas across those two same dimensions of interest and commitment. Ideas in the top right, these are the ones that did well when presented alone and in that head-to-head competition. Bottom left are rethinks. These didn't do well in either case. Top left are vulnerables. These did well when presented alone, but then fell victim in that head-to-head competition. So they're showing a lower loyalty. And then on the bottom right, we've got our niche section here. And while these ideas aren't broadly popular, fewer people are swiping right on them. Those that are very passionate about them and they have really high commitment. So niche ideas can be important to understand because they can be highly incremental to a portfolio. You know, a good candidate for a targeted launch or a limited time offer. And I often find that these are the ideas whose potential can be overlooked when you're strictly testing monetically. Another way to visualize our data here is our idea map. This is one of our clients' favorite deliverables because it provides an understanding of market structure, showing which ideas interact the most with each other and which territories lack competitive pressures. So it's a visual representation of how much the ideas are preferred by the same people. So those that are grouped together, for example, we've got all the San Pellegrino brands grouped together here. That makes sense. These were all liked by the same people. We're also showing strength of the connection by the thickness of the line. So thicker the line, stronger the connection. Here we're showing that people who like the San Pellegrino Essentia also really like the Momenti. So this just allows you to see the potential for innovation and identify overlap with your closest competing ideas or perhaps with your competitors if you were testing with their products. Final dashboard to touch on here is perhaps our most innovative deliverable in Upsiide. This is our market simulator. Market simulator provides a preliminary share, source of volume, and incrementality forecast. So it allows you to understand how a new innovation will impact products already in market. The simulator is incredibly easy to use. This comes through our swiping exercise. It's toggling a button on and it will run. You'll see we've got all of our existing products here. We chose these products, have their bold black numbers. These equal just about 100. And you'll see when I introduce a new product here, it's going to show me exactly where it's sourcing that volume or stealing that market share from. This is really helpful, and one of the reasons we always suggest testing in a competitive context or testing with your some of your key SKUs in your portfolio, because that way you can see, you know, are you cannibalizing your own portfolio or are you taking from your competitors? Also worth mentioning is we can create groups here. So in this case, we did it by brand. So we could see how introducing a new idea would affect the entire portfolio there. And again, this is fully interactive. We can turn on and off different products. If we wanted to get rid of our competitors or only look at them, that's something that we could do as well. So everything that I have showed you so far has come out of that swiping and trade-off exercise. But of course, we can do much more than that, right? We can do all of your traditional style survey questions as well. Because of course, there's value in understanding attitudes around ideas. So you can optimize as you proceed through your innovation process. So here we're looking at what we call our idea split. This was the deep dive into certain ideas that we wanted to focus on. So here's where we asked our follow-up questions, you know, purchase intent, how often would you use? We can see the results of our emoji questions here, as well as the open ends in the follow-up. What's really cool about our open-ended questions is we use Google natural language processing to bucket keywords by sentiment into positive, neutral, and negative. We're getting more into, you know, believability, uniqueness, who we think would like these products. And the final thing to touch on here is, of course, heat maps. So heat maps are very handy when we're doing pack testing, but I often find that they come in handy when we're doing text as well. We've noticed that respondents will click on certain words or part of the stem that maybe they find confusing. Maybe they don't like the word that you're using. So we try not to restrict people just to using it for pack testing. Also brand new this year is our stat testing on the idea split. It's as simple as pinning one of our ideas here and toggling on our stat testing button so we can see if changes are significant or not. And we have different confidence levels here. You don't have to calculate anything yourself. You can just select what you're looking for. Going into setup experience, there was a few things I just wanted to touch on here. So we've got multiple templates built out for ease of use in Upsiide. This is for everything from pack testing to menu testing to concept assess, really everything under the sun. Here, I just wanted to show you the different ways that you can present your stimuli. We've got text, photo and text. We've done research on research, in fact, showing that the text stimuli will feel just as well as the visual ones. Something that's also cool about our text stimuli is our AI idea generator. So this is for any text-based claims, names, messaging. Basically, think of it as every brainstorming session's best friend. We've created prompts that are for ease of use. So create names for, let's say, banana sparkling water. This is going to throw out a bunch of different names for us. We can generate more like that, get more creative, or follow my lead. Let's say if I wanted it to rhyme or something. What's worth mentioning here is that Upsiide uses GPT-4 API in a closed environment. So everything that you're putting in here is not being used to train large language models. It's private to you or to the dig team, whoever's leveraging it on your behalf. Then when it comes to respondents, through our audience marketplace, you have access to around 44 million consumers in 47 different countries. So we have an API connection with a company called Cint. They are a panel aggregate. And this is really helpful. We're drawing from hundreds of panels. You don't need to worry about double dipping. It also means we've got stronger data quality controls because we have Cint and we've got our own as well. It's very easy to select your target audience. You can start by adding a demographic group. We've got many built out here. Let's say we wanted to do Gen Z in the US. And then, of course, we can add all of your own screener questions. So we've got some pre-built out, like primary decision maker for grocery shopping, or how many people live in your household. But this is also where you could put in things like, maybe you want to talk to people who hate sparkling water. You want to talk to people who only drink tap water. That's something that you could build in as a screener question, and then we would be able to filter on it from there. Finally, when it comes to how Upsiide works, we do operate on a subscription basis. If you're looking to leverage the platform DIY or through our enablement team, but we also have our full service team to support with those more in-depth initiatives as well. That is it for me. Happy to take some questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maeve. Before we dive into that Q&A, just a reminder to our audience that if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in that Q&A box. But to kick things off, Maeve, could you tell us more about how you calculate, or I guess, do you calculate the time to swipe for respondent experiences?
Yeah, definitely. So we actually found, we did some research on this as well, and we found that there isn't a large benefit to having time of swipe. We found that it hasn't been proven to be predictive of in-market success. We've got a really good white paper about this that I'm happy to share out, but essentially we find that respondents can take a long time to swipe on something that they really like. Maybe they're captivated, they're looking into it more, but they can also take a long time to respond on something that they really dislike. So there's no way for us to kind of parse between those two, which is why we're not recording time to swipe.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. What kind of AI capabilities do you have built into the platform?
Yeah, so right now we've got our AI idea generator. But down the pipeline, we've got a video interview style question. So that's where we would plug in our objectives. AI would ask respondents a question on video, and based on the respondent's response, would give more prompts to try to get more insights. Something that will be coming along with that is our AI storyteller. So essentially, that'll be something that's going to scan the data and all of the dashboards and add quick annotations, give you little tidbits or insights that the AI noticed from your data and the themes that it presents.
Great, thank you. Could you talk more about how one would typically work with Upsiide as a client?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a pretty broad range of our clients. So some people come to us, they want to leverage the platform DIY. Other times people come to us, they want a full service initiative. They want that strategic reporting. And then sometimes people say, hey, I need your support, but I don't need that strategic reporting, or I don't have a 6-week timeline. I don't have a $40,000 budget. I'm looking for something quick turn. So we have an enablement team as well that can do things like provide coaching, as well as what we call an agile assist engagement. And that's where we build and field the study for you. And then we take you through all of the data reporting dashboard. And then you're welcome to do with the data what you may.
Wonderful, thank you. And it looks like we have one more question here for now. What is on your product roadmap?
Yes, so product roadmap is definitely our AI capabilities and building those out. So that video interview question, as well as the storyteller. What's coming up very soon is we're making a few changes to our logic. So something in, of course, doing online research, logic is really important to make sure you're routing people to the right questions, you're getting rid of the right people, you're keeping the right people in. So we are constantly looking to update and make our capabilities stronger.
That's very exciting. Well, it looks like that's all we have for today. Maeve, I want to give you a really big thank you, and to all of our attendees, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, for those of you who are tuning in live, you can scroll down and click that book time with me button, and it'll allow you to email Maeve directly. Any questions that you might have, or reach out if you want to get in touch with the team. But with that, I will let everyone go, and I hope everyone has a happy Friday and a wonderful weekend ahead.
Thanks, Bridget.